On September 25th, 1994, the Star Wars side of the internet was abuzz when Eric posted on the Arts.Star Wars news group that he just saw Darth Vader in live action on TV while he was watching Texas Walker Ranger. Eric would post the following: "Has anyone seen the Energizer Bunny commercial in which he takes on Darth Vader? In it, Darth Vader consults with the Emperor and then attacks the bunny. However, his lightsaber drains and 2 cheap batteries fall out. Vader howls in anger. If I didn't have it on tape, I would have believed all this cold medicine I'm taking was giving me delusions. I believe it was on during Walker Texas Ranger last night. Unreal, Eric." Some thought Eric was out of his mind, but soon other posts would start to appear, like Cameron, who saw a commercial during an episode of Cops the following day. After giving a spoiler warning, he wrote, "I was watching Cops when I saw a scene from Empire Strikes Back, a Star Destroyer defended by ties. Then it was Darth Vader and the bounty hunters, and the scene where Vader and the Emperor." Some dialogue at this point. At this point, we see a picture of the Energizer Bunny, and the Emperor tells him to get the battery. Flash through the carbon freezing room. The bunny appears through the trapdoor like Luke did. Then Vader strikes down at him with his lightsaber, using the dialogue and some of the movie footage. At the end, he has the saber pointed at him, and it flickers on and off until it completely shuts off. Vader then unscrews the saber to reveal some generic type of battery. He screams in agony. The new dialogue was still James Earl Jones, but I couldn't be certain if it was David Prowse in the suit. Although Cameron released some of the footage of the fight scene was just taken from Empire Strikes Back, all the fight scenes were redone. Although they did take scenes from Empire Strikes Back, such as the Star Destroyers and Darth Vader talking to the Emperor. As you'll notice, of course, this was before the special edition. Also seems that Cameron saw bounty hunters, but no one else can remember ever seeing any bounty hunters in this commercial. Wedge replied to Cameron's post about what he saw. "I'm envious. So far, I've only seen the version with the Emperor, no bounty hunters, and commercials are my life. I'll be on the lookout. But even the short one is hilarious. I saw it seconds after leaving the news group." Wedge would then follow up with his theory on why the commercial was even made when he writes, "This is obviously a promo for the new movie, as they're gearing up to begin advertising Star Wars again. This looks like the beginning of a very well choreographed ad campaign for the new Star Wars movies. This goes with the introduction of new Star Wars toys as well." Well, that is true. This was 1994. Heir to the Empire and Dark Empire were already breaking sales records. Micro Machine had a Star Wars line, and Just Toys had a Bendham Star Wars lines hitting stores. And Hasbro had already announced that they would release a whole new line of action figures in 1995. In the early 90s, Lucas was starting to allow more companies to use the Star Wars brand, and giving out more license deals. This wasn't just a way to test the waters to see if there was still a hunger from the Star Wars fans, but also to get newer fans into Star Wars, or at least have Star Wars on their mind.
"What is thy bidding, my master?"
"There is a great disturbance in the Force. Get his battery."
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Long-lasting Energizer batteries. Just keep going and going.
By October, fans were begging for an AVI file of the commercial, as they still hadn't been able to see it on TV. Mark D writes, "Does anyone have an AVI version of the commercial, if available anywhere? I have the MOV version, all 14 megs of it, but I would really like the sound as well. Thanks." Even by November, months later, some still believe it was an internet hoax until they saw it, like Sally when she posted, "I finally saw the commercial. Up until that point, I wasn't sure if it was a net hoax." Some people thought the commercial would just prove George Lucas has sold out and would allow anyone to do anything with Star Wars as long as they paid him, but others would disagree, not seeing it as a sellout at all. The commercial really broke the Star Wars internet in 1994. In fact, by 1996, 2 years after, people like John were still trying to find a digital copy of the commercial to download. This might seem silly in today's eyes with videos popping up on YouTube within seconds of being on TV, but this was the 90s, and we hadn't seen Darth Vader in a live action form since 1983. And it wasn't just Darth Vader, we hadn't even seen Star Wars in live action since the Ewok movies, unless you count Star Tours. But this wasn't the only time Star Wars broke the internet. Another time would have come in 1996, when fans went crazy for the release of the Star Wars Special Edition trailer that was hitting theaters. But could fans find it online? Would it take them hours to download it if they did? But we'll save that story for the next time of when Star Wars broke the internet.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though. Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.